Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Welcome to Waffle Box.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
You ate birthday cake on the toilet?
Don't you?
But does it have a dildo and a bazooka being shot right at the camera?
No, it does not.
It sounds uncomfortable to me, and we're currently standing on the ground right now.
Because I might start using that as an insult. I might start calling people dumb dolphins.
Billiards is almost as old as craps and prostitution. What the fuck?
Oh, God. That's not where I thought it was going to go.
The stick you can use as a bat. You can play as a sword. You can just beat a fool with it. I think maybe the craziest thing I bought was like the Cheers box set.
And then suddenly she's having this conversation with this plank of wood, Judge 2x4, when she instead of hitting the gavel, she just headbutts the desk. And that's final. Boom.
Whew, I for some reason know a lot about magic.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 35, we're talking a little bit about Wordle, the death of the sexy cartoon character. Kush's movie review is back with a vengeance, and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the man who is mourning the death of the 49ers football season. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes coming to you with the bestest edition of the Waffle Box since the last bestest edition. This is the best part of Wednesdays, Mike Fish, and I'm always happy to be celebrating it with you. Yeah, man, 49ers. You know what? I'm taking it a lot better than most of the city is. Like, the honest truth is the 49ers went much further than anyone thought they were going to do this year. So, you know, good job, boys. You'll get them next year. Apparently, it seems pretty inevitable we're going to have a new quarterback next year. And the commentators were talking shit about that in like the last 3 minutes of the game this previous Sunday. And it's like, oh, that's kind of mean, guys. What the hell?
Yeah, sometimes they don't hold back. They talk some shit, those commentators.
Mm-hmm.
It's mean.
Old Jimmy Garoppolo, whose name I've maybe only said 3 times in my life and all of it this week. Yeah. I guess he's going to be a free agent now. So best of luck, Jimmy.
Yes, he's got to go where the money is, but I mean, they look good. I don't know. Did you watch the game?
I caught the second half of the game. I was preoccupied with something that kept me from watching the first half, and that's when they were winning. And then in true Kush Hayes fashion, once I started watching the game, then they started losing. You familiar with that Bud Light commercial where like there's a guy just hanging out in the basement? He's like, "What's the score, guys?" And they're like, "It's 21-17. Stay in the basement." And he's like, "Sometimes your job is just to stay in the basement." You know, like that usually falls upon me more times than not. And hey, I'm going to do my part for the cause. So if I need to have not watched the game, we might have won.
I had a similar situation where I was watching back in England at the pub, watching my team West Ham, and it was like 0-0. And then my buddy went outside for a cigarette, and while he was smoking, we scored. And then he came back, and the other team scored. And then the next time he went out for a cigarette, literally the next time he went out for a cigarette, we scored again. And then when he tried to come back, everyone was like, "No, get out." So he had to stay outside for the whole game.
Again, it's only stupid if it doesn't work, and usually it works. So, yeah.
Gotta get a win somehow, however you can.
Just watch YouTube. My bad, guys. The next year. We'll get them next year. Meanwhile, time to celebrate the Golden State Warriors. While only in second place, they're still killing everybody.
I'm not too familiar with the old hoops, so
That's okay.
Is that good? I know
they're doing good.
We have the Nets and Knicks. I have no idea how they're doing, but
that's all right. I look at the scorecard the next day, so that's how I know how well they're doing. I'm honestly surprised they're not in first.
The problem is there's too many games. Like, I'm used to soccer and football where there's generally one game a week. Basketball, I'll be celebrating a win, and then the next week I've noticed we've lost 2 other games. I'm like, oh shit, when did that happen? I can't enjoy that, but whatever. It's February. Happy February, by the way.
Happy February. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. We have lots of things to get to in February. We've got lots of additional content coming for our lovely syrup squad. Let me just quickly go through this. So me and you are teaming up on a couple other podcasts, because for those that don't know, so first things first, I also do an additional podcast called the Claret and Big Boo podcast, where we talk about New York Giants and West Ham United, football and football, balls for everyone's taste, as we like to say. So I talk a little bit about football, and obviously in a couple of weeks, we've got the big game. For copyright reasons, we can't say the S word. Game. So it's the big game. So on Kush's other podcast, the Microdose, he has a Super Bowl special coming up on Friday, the 11th of February. And his guest will be me. And we'll be talking about
Mike Fish.
Mikey Fish. We'll be talking about Super Bowl and other things. So it'll be fun. So check that out on the Microdose. No, it's not in Microdose, the BuzzNet. Wait, no, it is on my on
family/microdose.
But if you're searching on your podcast app, search for Microdose. So that comes out on Friday 11th. And then on Friday 11th at 10 o'clock Eastern, you will be having the return of Late Night Syrup Live, where I'll be joined by Katie from the What the Psychology podcast. We'll be talking about her podcast and how that all came around, some interesting topics. That's going to be live at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Waffle Box YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. So make sure you go to Enjoy Waffle Box to look up all of those links. Then on Saturday, the 19th of February, we have the debut of a brand new show, Watch with Waffle Box, where myself and Kush Hayes will be sitting down to enjoy the Adam Sandler classic, the Burt Reynolds remake, The Longest Yard. So you'll be able to pull that up on your old Netflix stick us in your ears, press play when we press play, and we'll be just watching the movie with you. It's a lot of fun. That's going to be on the Waffle Box main feed on Spotify and all that good stuff. And then there's more on the following Saturday. I'm going to remind you about this all because there's a lot to take note of here. On the Saturday, 26th of February, there'll be another debut of a new show called That Mike Fish Show, where I'll be interviewing Ethan Johnson, aka Fine Wine 216 on YouTube, where we're going to talk about etiquettes and things like that, and putting the world to rights and becoming better human beings. So if you want to check out him, go to YouTube, search for Fine Wine 216. Check out his videos; they're really good, and we'll be chatting away on Saturday, 26th February. That'll also be debuting on the YouTube page and also on all the podcast platforms. Plus, of course, you get a new Waffle Box every Wednesday. So there's so much content. So much.
Hard to believe there's only 28 days in this month, Mike. You're blessing the audience with just an embarrassment of riches here.
We're making the most of it. But you never know when it's going to end. That was depressing. Anyway, but yeah. But no, actually, no. I did my medical and all that good stuff. Did the blood work and all. Came back all good. So somehow eating shit and drinking every diet works for me, pal. Works for me. So I'm gonna.
Well, your body's dependent upon those poisons now. If you try and eat healthy, you're gonna just die like Jerry Garcia trying to quit eating mushrooms and other psychedelics. But
like some people say, my body is a temple. My body is the bus from Speed. If I slow down, I'm gonna blow up.
Ooh, yeah. That's proper.
Except for I haven't got Keanu Reeves inside me.
Not yet, you don't.
The night is young. Anyway. So yes, let's crack into our first story of the evening. Well, it's gonna kind of loop back to last week's episode, so a little bit of a return. So last week, obviously, we discussed the Fight Club ending that was changed in the fine nation of China, just in case they're listening. We love all the Chinese people and their great government. Please don't kill us. So they changed the ending of the Fight Club movie. If you don't know about that, go back to last week. I'm not going over it again. But it's all in there. But apparently, and I am going to butcher this guy, apparently TMZ, this is the first and only time probably you're going to hear a TMZ reference on this show, Chuck Palahniuk You're the movie guy. How'd you pronounce his name?
I have no idea.
Thanks for that.
Fallon Newick sounds pretty good.
Chuck Fallis Newick. I'm
Fallon
sorry.
Newick. Let's just
Fallon
stick to
Newick.
Fallon Newick.
Fallon Newick has said he doesn't have an issue with it. Apparently, the ending of Fight Club in China is closer to the actual ending that he wrote in his book. Have you read the book, Kush?
I've not read the book. I know people who have read the book. They were explaining, he ends up getting sent to a loony asylum, and sure enough, a few members of the Project Mayhem are also employed by the loony bin. So that tells you you haven't seen the last of so and so there.
Nice cliffhanger for the sequel,
which they never did, as far as the book is concerned. At least I believe they didn't. But yeah, this is one of those. Is it irony? Like everyone's all up in the midst, like, how dare you butcher this classic and this original? And then the guy who wrote is like, no,
actually the movie kind of ended, if anything.
Yeah,
but it's nice when
I enjoy Fight Club. So, but
when you sent me the story, I was like, oh, I own the book. Let me check this out. But then I remembered the book is somewhere in a storage container in my parents' house. So I was like, fuck, in England. So I was like,
fuck.
But I do remember from reading it, 'cause it was many, 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 many moons ago. But I do remember it made sense because I remember the beginning is very different. Like how the narrator meets Tyler Durden is very different in the book compared to how he meets him in the movie. So I guess it makes. So I was like, well, checks out. I believe him if he wrote it. But
and if anything, we never see what happens to Tyler Durden and the narrator and at the end of David Fincher's Fight Club, the buildings just explode. He says something quippy to Western Nuts, and then they just hold hands, and that's it. Clearly, they're not running, so they clearly got arrested. It'd be weird if they didn't, honestly. But we don't see any of that.
You know, in that movie gave me the huge respect that I still hold to this day for Brad Pitt. And do you want to know why? Why? Because I remember, so I was so bored one day that I actually watched Fight Club with what's it called where they have the director and some of the people talking over it?
Director's commentary.
Much
like what we'll be doing with The Longest Yard this week.
On February 19th. Check it out. But yes, so I was watching that and it was a director, Ed Norton and Brad Pitt talking over the movie. And right at the end, when the buildings start blowing up and they play Pixies, Where Is My Mind? Brad Pitt was like, oh, I love the fact that you chose Pixies to end this movie. I love the Pixies. I was like, oh, I love the Pixies too, Brad.
You guys are BFFs forever now, Mike.
Like that. Two fingers. So for those listening, I'm crossing my two fingers like we're spooning, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so it's not all that bad. But I will say, Chuck, come on, Chuck. Don't go for the low-hanging fruit here. The article ends. Apparently, Chuck tweeted, quote, everyone gets a happy ending in China. Really? Chuck, come on. Come on. You're better than that.
How rude.
You wrote Fight Club. You don't have to go that low.
Oh, my goodness. I actually saw Fight Club opening day with a buddy of mine. And I didn't know what to think of it. I didn't know anything about the book, but he explained to me, he was like, no, man, we got to go see this movie. And we caught a matinee, and it was dope, man. That was one of those things where you're like, oh, man, I'm going to see this a lot in life. And
the only annoying thing is, or I guess maybe it could consider it a good thing, but Fight Club is one of those movies where if someone hasn't seen it, and you say, oh, have you seen Fight Club? And they go, no, what's it about?
You haven't seen Fight Club?
But there's no way of explaining, even summarizing Fight Club without spoiling it. So you literally have to you just watch it. Just trust me. Just watch it. It's good. You just can't, because you can't. You could, I guess you could say, oh, it's about an underground fight club, but it's like, I guess it is, but it's not the main point. And so I don't want to lead the person.
A man who has hit rock bottom engages in an extracurricular activity that just happens to be underground fighting, and things get a little carried away from there.
I guess. And it stars the original Marvel Hulk, MCU Hulk.
That's right. No. All right. Sure.
Technically.
Sure.
So yeah, if you haven't done it,
Banna's not in this.
next Wordle. Have you ever played Wordle, Kush?
No, but I keep seeing that graphic with the blocks and then some ratio number that has nothing to do with the corresponding blocks. I've only seen that graphic on my Facebook feed. Otherwise, I don't know what Wordle is.
Let me break it down for you then. Before we get into. So basically, Wordle is you just go to this website and it gives you, I think it's a 5x5 grid. And then you type in a 5-letter word. And then it tells you which letters are correct, which letters are wrong, and which letters are correct but in the wrong position. So then the next line comes down and you have to try to guess the 5-letter word again. But then you use the clues from the one before. So you know, okay, so the T from the word I guessed is in the right position. So then I know in my next guess, the T has to be there. But if there's a yellow one, that means that letter is in the word, but it's in the wrong position. So the next guess, you have to move it around a bit. So you kind of have to work out the final word. And it's how quickly you can do that.
It sounds like Boggle meets Tetris.
Not bad synopsis, really. But yeah, it's
not Kush because I'm some dumb stoner.
The only annoying thing is it's one puzzle a day. So once you crack it, you can't go to the next level. You have to wait until midnight again for the next puzzle unlock. So literally everyone's doing the same puzzle. Anyway, so this was created by a software engineer named Josh Wardle, and he released the game online in October, and he has now sold it for an undisclosed 7-figure fee to the New York Times.
Good for him.
Good for him, because yeah, it was literally just like a little project thing he did. He literally says in the article that he got into crosswords, ironically, the New York Times crossword, and he wanted a game to play in the morning as part of a routine. He shared it with his family on WhatsApp. And that's kind of it. Just in there, it's kind of blown up. So apparently it came out in October, but I've only really heard of it in the last couple of weeks. But it's blown up, and now here he is. It says it's low 7 figures, but still, that's at least $1 million. Not bad for an afternoon's work.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that got me, and you know me, even though when there's a nice story, I always have to find something to complain about because I'm jaded about the world. I always have to, but so it was funny. So in his quote, when he's being interviewed by the BBC, is that, so there is concern because New York Times have literally said, where is it in here? It basically says that they're using it. New York Times are going to use it to bump up their subscriptions.
Sure.
So
their online subscriptions.
So eventually they're gonna. They say it's gonna still be available for free on the New York Times website, but they put something on the wording of it was basically for now. So eventually it's gonna be behind. You have to subscribe to the New York Times to be able to play your Wordle every day. So when the BBC asked him about, you've created this Wordle, did you ever at any point think about trying to make money off of this game?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was asked whether he planned to make money from it, and he said, quote unquote, "I don't understand why something can't just be fun. I don't have to charge people money for this, and ideally would like to keep it that way." He said that after signing a 7-figure fee to sell the game to someone who's going to put it behind a paywall. Come on, dude.
I see where you're going with this, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, like I'm never gonna get an offer like this again. It would be stupid not to take it. But in my heart, I still wish you guys would keep it free, New York Times. However, it's up to them at that point. He's got no say in it. So he's just
I haven't got absolute zero issue for him making money off this. If I was in his position, god damn it, I'd sell that game so fast. But come on, you have to realize, the irony of selling it for at least $1 million, but then turn around by Why can't everyone just have fun? Why do we have to monetize everything? As he's counting his $1 million. Come on, bro. Just at least just come out and nice and say, yeah. Okay. When I saw how popular it was, first thing I thought about was how much money I could make off this bad boy. Just be honest, man. Just be honest.
He probably didn't though. Like the good stuff, you never know how much it's really worth until someone tells you, and they're like, "What? Really for that?"
Sure. You're so.
I thought I was the cynic on this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you got your rose tinted glasses on tonight, Kush?
And I'm just, happy for a dude that got his.
Have you been smoking today? Is that why you're so happy?
I usually smoke every day though. Like
maybe you got some good stuff, some extra good stuff.
No, I haven't gotten anything good since before the new year. So this is all old stuff.
Speaking of good stuff, and speaking of Super Bowl, which we're going to be talking about, are you excited by this year's halftime show?
Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre should be a good show, assuming it's still going on. I've heard some murmurs that like, well, maybe we don't do a halftime show this year.
Why?
COVID regulations, other nonsense like that. Or if they do have it, it still wouldn't be at the actual SoFi Arena. It would be in another location, which is also just weird. Yeah.
Oh, they just like beam it into the stadium.
Well, last year's show had the weekend, and I want to say that was
like half
90% of that thing was pre-recorded.
Where he was like running backstage in the maze.
Mm-hmm.
What all that was about. I didn't understand it. Just
it's a cocaine
sing the
thing.
song.
Yeah.
Just sing the song, man. Jesus. What's wrong with the old just microphone? Sing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need art interpretation with 200 dancers with their faces covered because it means something.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck's sake.
You had to be there.
Kids these days.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Get off my
Speaking
lawn.
of, it's actually a good segue. Speaking of, things were better in my day. So last week we kind of hit on, because you made a mention, and I kind of knew what you was talking about, but I hadn't taken a deep dive into it. Where Tucker Carlson, a good friend over at Fox News, got a little bit emotional, I guess, because the green M&M was no longer wearing kinky boots. She was just wearing regular sneakers, and it upset him big time. I don't know why.
It's the minorest change. It's a weird thing to get upset about. And I know this news is now over a week old, but like it's those news stories like don't just pop up on his screen and then he just spits out his opinion. Like they had a meeting that day and they're like, did you know the green M&M isn't wearing boots anymore? She's gonna be wearing white tights and some sensible shoes, but she's still gonna have her little ching about her. And Tucker, what do you think about that? And then he gave his opinion there, and then went, "That's gold. We're going to run with that." But like, why do we have to have an opinion on the M&M's candy?
See, maybe now this is where I'm kind of maybe switching my. Maybe I'm just kind of because maybe I'm just bought into the whole Fox News machine, and maybe people aren't so bad. Like, I hope that at the production meeting, maybe Tucker Carlson's sitting there, I don't know, glass of scotch and a cigar, not caring. And someone mentioned, "Oh, what story?"
Tucker, it's 10:30 in the morning. For scotch.
Where's my steak? And they're like, "Oh, well, did you hear about the green M&M? They're not. She's not going to be wearing stripper boots anymore. She's going to be wearing sneakers." And Tucker Carlson's probably like, "I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking M&M. I don't give a shit." And they're like, "No, you have to get angry. Why? Because this is." And I was, "Oh, fine, I'll play up my angry face." Like, I just can't imagine a human being. Maybe I'm just thinking too like an irrational human being getting that angry about a fucking M&M cartoon.
I think you probably hit it closer on the head than I have. Like he probably just went, "Yeah, who gives a shit?" And then they went, "No, dude. We gotta fill 5 minutes and you gotta say 700 words about why this sucks." And they're like, "Do I?" And they're like, "Yes, you do." That's what we do here. That's your show. And he went, all right.
So
700 words.
the reason I brought this up is because then a secondary story came out of Candace Owens, who, as those who are familiar with Candace Owens' work, you know she is a incredibly grounded and level-headed young lady.
Indeed.
So the headline, this is why it caught my eye. Candace Owens rages at Minnie Mouse pantsuit. Okay. So
yeah.
they
I know these people actually have the power to veto. No, we're not doing that story. No, I'm not going to talk about the homeless woman who saved a kitten from being barbecued. No, we're not doing that.
See what Minnie Mouse is wearing today. So yes.
Good.
So Owens
Minnie Mouse could use a fashion upgrade.
So Owens appeared on Fox News and she spoke to Jesse Watters. I don't know. I don't watch it. While on the show, Jesse, I'm butchering it. I'm sure it's not Jesse Watters, but whatever. That's what we're going with here. On his show, Jesse Watters Primetime insisted Disney was attempting to address a non-existent problem with the character's outfit. She also went as far as to say the decision was an attempt to destroy the fabrics of our society. Fucking hell, it's a cartoon character who's
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's destroying the fabric of society, but it's definitely a needed upgrade. I mean, that's just weird nowadays, man. She's wearing a mini skirt. Her bloomers are puffed out. Like, I mean, Miss Candace Owens, it could be way worse. Like, they could have given Minnie Mouse a thong and just had her start twerking. Like that I guarantee you, someone pitched that at that meeting where they're like, where they resolved it with, let's go with a pantsuit. At some point, someone like, let's give Minnie a thong. Let's put some love me pumps on her and just have her start doing her thing. You know, just hey, just like that.
And then Mickey Mouse in the back. Have you been drinking again, Minnie?
Maybe.
So she went on to say, let me just tell you, Jesse, it goes back to what they did with the M&ms. and now they are making her more masculine. I'm glad they are seeing that this is needed to be addressed, she said sarcastically. They are making her more masculine. It's a cartoon mouse. Fuck's sake, like it's just shit. Like when I was like,
it is amazing though that didn't give her a necklace or a chain with that stencil that just says "boss bitch" on it.
Oh, and she turns around, she's like a tramp stamp.
Yes, my
of like just an arrow pointing down.
Arrow pointing down. No, I mean, I think you'd still want to go like the classic butterfly, but could be no. That's the Disney ears silhouette.
No, Disney ears, but no, arrow pointing down like VIP entrance above it.
I get it. No, too much, Mike.
Too much. Okay,
that's too much.
But when I was like reading all this and watching, do you know what I would love? What would be a great PR play by the people over at, is it Mars who make M&ms? I'm assuming
Mars /
they make
M&Ms.
everything. So after Tucker Carlson gets all mad defending the fact that the green M&M she should be able to wear the shoes she wants because apparently M&M's making her change it, whatever. M&M should just change her biography on the website and to state that she was genetically born a man, she's transgender, and you'd be able to see Tucker like sweat because it's like, now I've defended a transgender. Oh my god, what do I do? Who am I? And then it'd be like that scene from The Crying Game where he'd be like running into the shower, burning his clothes. Like, oh, it'd be amazing. I want to see that happen.
Guys, let's see if we can make that happen. Can we make that happen?
Can we make that happen? M&M's, you what? I'm sure they're watching.
We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, so maybe next week we'll update on that story. But wouldn't that be great? Just fuck it. Just fuck with Tucker Carlson because he's, again, I'm sure they're just getting angry and trying to create a fuss about where there is no fuss. But come on, guys, look yourself in the mirror. It's a cartoon chocolate M&M. Why are you
It has
worried
to
if
fall into the
it's
category of
sexy or
we've
not?
run out of problems.
I guess, yeah, if we're back to complaining about those kind of bullshit things, I guess the world's in a better place. Look on the bright side. But yeah, I've never once looked at Minnie Mouse, never once looked at the green M&M and was like, I would. Never happened in my life. Now, Lois Griffin from Family Guy, that's a different story. But that's a story for another day.
All right.
Come on, she's like the girl next door. She's like, she looks.
I mean, I don't live on the East Coast, so maybe she is like the girl next door for you. But yeah, no.
Well, she is from Rhode Island. Family Guy. Guy. Anyway, yes. So yeah, bring back green M&Ms, sex boost. Let's give the people what they want. Okie Next story. I guess we have to go back to serious stuff now because we've got a COVID story. Well, it's touched on COVID.
I just want everyone to know I retested on the 29th and they came back negative. So that's my proof right there. There you go.
Hey, it's a boy. So
not pregnant, Mike. That means not pregnant.
We have to keep trying. We need to continue this franchise, baby, for the next generation. Anywho, so in New York, the town's so great they named it twice. It's a big apple, even though there's no apple.
Town's so nice they named it twice.
Town's so nice they changed it twice. Fun fact about New York: some people don't know this. There is no song in existence that was released by a man named Frank Sinatra called New York, New York. That song does not exist.
New York, New York, it's a hell of a town. The escalator's up and the subway is down. That's not a thing.
I don't know what you were singing, but that's not.
This is wild. Well, let's stop spreading the news. I'm leaving today. New York.
New York, New York. Yeah, anyway. But that song's not called New York, New York. Everyone thinks it's called New York, New York. It's not called New York, New York.
Oh, okay. Well, you were saying it doesn't exist, but okay.
Because it doesn't technically. I was being technical because there is. If you search New York, New York, there's no song for that. It's actually called the theme from New York, New York. Being pedantic, baby.
Oh my.
Anyway.
Oh my.
Anywho, so two nurses from New York, and see, this is, even though I have only lived here 5-6 years, obviously I'm from England, so I'm not native to this land, but I've been here long enough to know the fact that already in this article that I'm reading, there's an error on the first 5 words, because it says two nurses on New York's Long Island. If you're really from New York, Long Island doesn't count. They're not New York City. It's Long Island.
Okay. Yeah, that I did not know.
I only found out because remember one day at work, my first early days. You know, sometimes when you start a new job and they get everyone together and they do the whole team building bullshit and then you meet people that have worked there and yada, yada, yada. One of the managers was there. She was like, hey, so a little backstory about me. I was born and raised in New York. Anyone else born and raised in New York? And someone raised their hand and they were like, hey, yeah, where in New York are you from? And he was like, Long Island. And she was like, doesn't fucking count. Anyone else? God damn.
Yeah. This is all fresh news to me, but I'm going to equate it to like out here. Someone will say, I'm from San Francisco. And they'll be like, oh shit, what part of San Francisco are you from? And then they'll say something like Daly City or even something as bold as like San Jose. San Jose, FYI, actually has a bigger population than San Francisco, but everyone just knows San Francisco, so that's what they go to. They don't. I guess they don't want to do like, well, it's like 15 minutes south of San Francisco, so that it's called Colma. It's a town of graveyards. No one wants to. I guess no one wants to say all that, but that always comes up. So this is what I'm imagining that is like.
I have a similar situation where, because I'm from a town called Grays in Essex, which is like
Grays Ltd.
Sure, why not? So, which is like a few miles east of London. But if I go international and people ask me where I'm from, early on I would say, "Oh, I'm from Grays," and they would look at me like a blank stare. Where the fuck is that? And then I'd have to explain it. So after a while, whenever people ask me, I'll just say, "I'm from London," even though I'm not. I'll just say, "Yeah, I'm from London."
Again, that probably makes sense out of town, but like anytime I've had that,
I would never try to convince someone.
Previous examples
from London in London.
Like, yeah, when I've gone to the festivals in Holland, everyone knows where San Francisco is from, but also sometimes I just say, I'm from California. Maybe I don't want you to know that I'm from San Francisco. And then if I need to get really aggressive, we're like, I'm from America. Yeah, what you want to do about it?
Also, while we're avoiding talking about this story, another fun fact that I'm assuming you knew because you go there quite often, that Holland isn't a country.
Yeah, it's the Netherlands that's the country.
Holland is a district is an area within the Netherlands. Yes. So
it still confuses me, but I literally got lucky on that one.
Well, I think people get away with it because when they say, "Oh, I've been to Holland," 9 times, or probably 95 times out of 100, they're right, because typically most people go to Amsterdam, and Amsterdam is in Holland.
Boss is gonna think I'm smoking weed if they hear I went to Amsterdam, or that I banged a bunch of prostitutes.
It's the only thing to do there.
Amsterdam.
Prostitutes, weed, and ride a bike.
And ride a bike while collecting tulips.
They love riding bikes in Amsterdam.
They're really good about it too, man. There's a little designated station every few feet. Like their bicycle game is very sharp, man. Like I wish we could sprinkle a little of that out here. I don't know how it is in New Jersey, but yeah.
Oh, no one rides a bike in New Jersey.
Fucking suck.
In New York
City, not a bad
City.
Thing.
Okay, you get
New York City.
You got the city bikes, I guess that counts.
We have those, yeah, the share bikes.
Yeah,
I fucking hate those things.
Why?
In theory, it's a good look, but in reality, Americans are just lazy assholes and will not walk those suckers to the proper station or just to a corner. Like every so often, like it was like, why is there a bike outside my door? What the fuck is this?
Well, don't you get charged extra if you don't return it to the station?
I don't know. And if
us know,
if you do,
Syrup Squad.
It's
enjoy wafflebox at gmail.com.
If you do, it's not affecting any of these J-Brons. So
we got too much more money than sense. Speaking of people with more money than sense, let's get into this story. 2 nurses from Long Island.
Segue back.
Thank you. 35 episodes in, we're getting good at this. They've been charged with forging COVID-19 vaccination cards and entering the fake jabs into the state's database. Whoa.
Oh, into the database too. That's wild. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't they?
So obviously with New York City, it's been very heavily impacted by COVID-19, and there are lots of places where unless you show your vaccination card, you can't get into that bad boy. You stay outside. So obviously people who, for whatever reason, not get into that, don't want to get their vaccinations, but they want to go into a bar or a restaurant or a music venue. So obviously they're going to be getting a fake vaccine card. But so let's just put you into the mindset, Kush. Let's just try to get into character, because everyone knows now what kind of an amazing Hollywood style actor you are. I'm going to get you into scene.
Lemon face, lion face, lemon face, lion face, lemon face, lion face. I'm ready.
Like, if you wanted to go, if you like dead against, I don't want to get my vaccination, but I really want to go into a bar, how much would you pay for a forged vaccination card?
Well, if it's me that you're asking about, Mike, and I've already read the article, so I know what the answer is. But if it's me we're talking about, and I have the option of a sliding scale, maybe $50. But again, we're also talking about me, so I might just go like, it'd just be easier to get the stupid fucking shot. Like
$220 for an adult to get these.
$220.
But to be fair, as I don't know if you've seen, there's an Aziz Ansari special on Netflix right now.
I watched that last night.
Where he makes a good point about these vaccination cards are not very hard to forge. To be fair, they are very easy to forge. But so these nurses
not
were
basically not hard to forge. Sorry to step on you here. Like so, as we announced a few weeks ago, I actually caught the COVID. I am now triple vaxxed, but a couple of weeks ago, COVID positive, and I'm just lying in bed, frustrated and just kind of angry with myself about everything. And I realized, like, I could still go out right now if I wanted to. If I want to just be more irresponsible, like I could just show you my card, and all you would know is I've only had 2 vaxes. Like it wouldn't say anything about me being actually sick right now. Like I could just do that if I wanted to. Obviously, I did not because, as I said, irresponsible. But like that's how much weight that stupid little card has. And he made the jokes like black over white and no or whatever. Will do, Jeff. It really was just
took like 5 minutes to design.
Yeah.
So if you're desperate to get into a bar or whatever, so you could have spoke to Julie Vuono, sure, who is the owner and operator of Wild Child Pediatric Healthcare in Amityville. Why does anything normal happen in Amityville, wherever it is across every state that has an Amityville? It's always a little bit crazy. There and her employee Marissa Uraru, according to the complaint. So they were basically, you can come in, we're going to pretend to give you a vaccination, we're going to give you your vaccination card and enter it into the database so you're good to go. So they were charging $220 a piece for adults, $85 per child, which I don't understand.
Very specific amounts.
Very specific amounts, but also why the different prices for adults and children? It's not like it's a restaurant where you're giving smaller portions. You're still offering the same service. And the child's not paying for it. The adult's paying for it. Charge the same fucking amount if you're going to break the law and make money. Idiots.
So here's what I imagine is irresponsible mom and irresponsible child. Those are 2 people. And instead of charging them the $235, they was like 300 flat. Instead of charging the $335, I just go 300 flat. If you got cash right now, $300, we'll take it. 2 for 1.
2 for 1. Let's get it done.
That's because those numbers are just like, where do you come up with that number? Why not just 200? Why not just 100 for children or $75? Like it's very, very specific.
Maybe it was $200 plus 10% tip.
But it's their outfit. It's their thing. There's no tip. Like they get 100% of it.
But I worked it out. So basically, this happened between November 2021 and January 2022. They forged the vaccination cards and yada, yada, yada. Prosecutors said that on 1 or more occasions, they created records to indicate a vaccine was given to an undercover detective, whoopsie daisy, and never administered a vaccine. Forging a COVID-19 vaccination card and entering false information in the database. Basically, it's illegal. During a search of her home, officials said they seized roughly $900,000. They also allegedly found a ledger documenting profits from the scheme in excess of $1.5 million. Let's do the maths. Let's break it down. Let's just say that everyone did get charged $220 rather than the $85 per child. I'm not going into that. So $220. So let's just go by the $900,000 that they confirmed that they had because they found it. That works out at 4,094 vaccines. Okay. Now, this apparently happened between November and January. 3 months. Let's just make that 90 days. 45 a day. Right? These are like, because even so,
Someone has to wait that extra 15 minutes.
I mean,
You just get
you
it
have to
out.
wait. But there's a full-time job for these ladies, and imagine that's just unfortunate. But it gets deeper because apparently Di Buono's husband, Darren, is a New York Police Department officer.
Who'd he piss off then? Uh-oh.
He's being investigated by the Department's Internal Affairs Bureau in terms of his possible involvement in his wife alleged scheme.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I reckon. So for him to, someone must have said something stupid.
Someone said something to somebody. Someone pissed off somebody. Like, you're gonna see a lot of cops in that register too. By the way, if they had a way of keeping track of that, you're gonna find a lot of New York cops in that register.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Eventually, at some point, someone was like, "You need to cut me in on this action, otherwise I'm telling on you." And I'm sure he said no, and then that's how this all came out. I bet that's how it happened.
We should be detectives.
We should. I always watch those shows and be like, I'd be good at that. Just walk in, wear my suit, look at a dead body, and go, I know how this happened. Let's wrap this up in 45 minutes plus commercials.
47 minutes? Oh, we need to start selling better commercials, man. We should only do this for 42 minutes.
I don't watch normal TV commercials. I'm talking about Hulu. Late at night, there's less commercials. Bam.
Hulu's still formatted. Anyway, never mind.
Anyway. But yes, so just a month ago, New York City Governor Kathy Hochul signed a bill into law criminalizing fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. I'm also pretty sure I read somewhere, I'm pretty sure that's into federal law as well now, right? That's a federal crime. I'm
just
almost
on
certain.
Forgery alone. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what New York City governor did. It's just a federal crime.
It's more time added. It's more revenue possibly generated. It's a bigger fine. It's more lawyer fees. Don't ever commit a crime over there, my fish. They're gonna bleed you dry even if you're innocent.
And that is, it's one of my don't break any crimes, don't break any laws. But if you are going to do it, don't do federal ones because that's just way more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Just steal a Snickers bar
to be fair,
or something from a bodega if you're like that desperate to break the law. Push a child off a bike. Little things.
I'm all for pushing children off bicycles, FYI. I'm pro.
All right, here's a question I have before we get into Kush's movie review. I got a question. So, obviously, I'm of the age now of where everyone around me.
Getting some hair on your chest, buddy?
Not anymore. I had
some
it
weird
shaved
feelings
off.
You wanna talk about?
I shaved my chest because I had to get an EKG.
You shaved your chest. Okay.
Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, so I'm coming right, where all my friends are starting to have babies and things like that. Right now, babies tend to be annoying, right?
Yes.
However,
babies are great as long as you can give them back.
Right. But obviously, you can't be mad at a baby acting like a baby.
You can be mad at a baby.
Because it's a baby, right?
I disagree.
No, okay. You can be like internally, but it's not like you can go up to the baby and go.
Oh, no. Yeah. We wouldn't be doing that. No.
So I was trying to work out, in those like shower thought moments where you kind of, it just comes into your mind like, I don't know. Like, you start thinking about shit. What is the age cutoff? Like, so for example, like if a 5-year-old,
when you can just ball up your fist and slug a kid,
maybe not slug the kid, but like I'm thinking like because obviously if a 4-year-old, for example, is annoying, you can't go, hey, stop being a fucking dick. Like can't do that to a 4-year-old. So I was trying to work out where is the cutoff? Like, at what age am I allowed to yell at a child and it not be frowned upon? And yes, I'm making
the way things are today. You yell at any child is frowned upon, even if they got it coming. But
Well,
for
then
the purposes of
18,
this answer,
18 is not a child,
I think
so
you
fine.
need to. I think they start coming into their own around age 5. Once they're in kindergarten, you start learning small problem solving, and it's you need to like be firm about that. Like, hey, I just said you got to put your shoes on. We're going to the Dairy Queen. You wanted to go to the Dairy Queen. You got to put your shoes on. You got to be a little forceful. Forceful? Not
Sure.
being a parent, I don't know what the right word is for this, but there's a method to it. Yeah.
Tough love.
No, tough love is like I love you, stupid. Shut up. That's tough love.
Is that tough love? I fucking love you,
Maybe in my
moron.
family it is.
You low IQ having motherfucker. I love you. That's not tough love. That's just being mean. The backhanded. I don't know.
But you said you love me, so thank you. I love you too.
I wish you were never
Stupid.
born, but I love you.
Since you're here, you're all right.
Now hurry up and get a job. Daddy needs some new shoes.
Well said. Well said.
So yeah, what do we think? Do we
Anyway.
think about 12, maybe 12?
Well, 12 is they're about to be a teenager, so they should be taking on responsibilities around the house. Everyone's favorite, take out the trash, which never stops, by the way, kids. Once
Better
you're
take
12
out the
and you
trash,
start-
or I'll take you out in the trash.
You don't get to the day you get to stop taking out the trash is when you finally have a kid and tell him to take out the trash.
It's good rule. Good rule. But yeah, if you have
I'm gonna be taking out the
any
trash forever.
if you have any differing opinions, let us know at Waffle Box Pod on Twitter. Let us know what age of a child are you allowed to call an arsehole to its face?
Oh,
No, stop
yeah.
being so violent. I'm pretty sure that once you get into the violence, but then that's where the laws come into it. And although actually, to be fair, I don't even know what the law is. Like how old can a human being be before you're allowed to punch him in the face?
You
I
get
think
child protective services
technically-
involved, and then it's all downhill.
But then isn't it assault? So technically, you can get in
Yes.
trouble for punching a 40-year-old. So I guess it's all to do with context, really.
This will also teach him to keep a secret, Mike. By the way, folks, none of this is funny. None of this is funny. We make jokes, but none of this is funny.
It's not funny. It's a little bit, but
But I'm gonna
punched. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's a nice segue to the return of everyone's favorite segment. It's Kush's movie review, where Kush watches a movie, then he comes on the show and talks about it. Kush's movie review. What movie we got this week, Kush?
punching babies.
Punchy Babies, starring Tom Hanks.
Darn Tom, you'd be great in that. FYI.
Thanks.
We got the opportunity to see a sneak preview of the new Roland Emmerich movie, which actually comes out 2 days from this release, and it is called Moonfall. It stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, and from Game of Thrones, John Bradley, which folks will remember as Samwell.
I don't like him.
So, yeah, he's funny. Yeah, he's a good
Uh,
dude. So I saw the original trailer for this, and it's a very passing thing, but the point of the trailer was to let us know, Mike, that Roland Emmerich is doing another disaster movie where the Earth has shifted out of its orbit. It is heading towards Earth, and things only get worse from there.
Wait, the Earth is out of its orbit heading towards the Earth?
Moon is out of its orbit heading towards Earth.
Hence the
Okay.
name, Moonfall.
Yes. Other trailers will later tell us that aliens are behind this, and they are, and that gets into a whole weird thing. But it's up to Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson and John Bradley to figure out how to do this. And
Oh, Jesus. I don't trust them.
kind of like Deep Impact, not so much like Armageddon. The mission is to go up to the moon, figure out what's wrong with it, and get it back on its axis before all hell breaks loose. Roland Emmerich knows how to make a good disaster movie. He knows how to have fun with it. He doesn't have the same budget he has with Independence Day on this one, though. They try to hide things with computers and CGI, and it's only okay. The thing about the aliens, entertaining. So some fun stuff there. It's an interesting lore. I'd like to know more about that. But
That's where the prequel money comes in.
that's where the prequel money could come in, actually, since you brought it up. That's a good call, Mike Fish. At 2 hours and 12 minutes, this movie could have been a half hour shorter. While our heroes are rocketing literally up to the heavens to land on the moon and figure out what the hell is going on, there's all sorts of B story family developments happening, and they're trying to survive the disaster, and it's just
Bit of padding.
all that shit sucks. And if you took it out, that'd be the half hour I would take out, and just let's just focus on this mission. Let's focus on these aliens, and it's what's fun is very fun.
What
The
kind of shit
family
is
stuff
it?
is
Like,
all nonsense.
are we talking about like out of nowhere while they're rocketing to the moon, all of a sudden one of the characters has like a breaking moment where it's like, I don't think my wife really loves me. No, she does, man. That kind of shit.
You know what? All
that
that
has
shit is
nothing to do with
happening
story.
before the mission. All that nonsense is happening before the movie. Patrick
Ugh.
Wilson is a dishonored astronaut. Like him and Halle Berry were on a mission 11
What
years
was he
ago.
doing? What did he do to get dishonorably discharged from NASA?
I'm going to tell you. So
Ooh.
there was an alien invasion. A million fucking marbles attacked their vessel and then
Right.
attacked the satellite they were working on, killed a crew member, and then the shuttle was out of power, so Patrick Wilson had to fly it down manually, but he's the captain of the mission, so all the blame falls on him. They have no public record of an alien attack, of what I just spoke of, and like they just like, well, it could have been sunspots that did all that. And even Halle Berry is like, yeah, that could have been sunspots. He's like, fuck you, bitch. Like,
Fucking Halle Berry.
I saved your life. How dare you? Anyways, 11 years later, he's charged with going back up there, Mike. And,
Does he look all disheveled and like drunk at like 10 o'clock in the morning?
I
know you don't wanna do this, but,
wakes up hungover.
You're the best man.
He definitely has the I woke up hungover
I bet he
scene
does.
Early in the movie. Yeah. When we've
Nice.
established the time skip of 11 years. Like, oh, he's supposed to go to this little thing at the planetarium and make a speech. And,
Has there ever been a movie where they show something pivotal about a character and then do the 10 years later where they haven't been drunk? They're always drunk when we meet up with them 10 years later or something.
Yeah. That's it's definitely a trope. Why it happens, it's to show that they've fallen off hard.
So you can
build
them back up again.
They're at their rock bottom. All they know is just booze and misery. And a lot of people, surprisingly, in this country, the United States, relate with that.
Keeps me healthy, as we discussed at the beginning of the show.
Well, you're from Europe. You're from the United Kingdom, where booze there is a whole different thing. All right. You guys actually like you guys have been doing it a lot longer than us, Mike. So you got a little more polished. You got pubs every 2 blocks. No one's allowed to drink and drive, period.
Yeah, instead of Starbucks, we have pubs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Starbucks too, but that's not the point. That's not the point.
Other coffee chains are available.
What other coffee chains are in the United Kingdom? Is Seattle's Best there? I'd be very surprised if it was.
What's Seattle's Best?
It's a coffee company based out of Seattle.
Oh, the name is Seattle's Best.
Mm-hmm. They have a couple hundred franchises up in the Pacific Northwest.
We have Cafe Nero. Do you know that? I don't know.
The Blue Bottle Company.
Nope, never seen one of those.
Is Pete's a thing out there?
Possibly. I might have bumped into him.
Possibly. That's fair. Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Yep, know that one.
Oh, far out, man.
Although,
we don't
to
even
be
have one
fair,
of those out here.
My references might be merged now. I'm familiar with Dunkin' Donuts. That might just be the fact I know them from out here. So my memory. But I do remember this is how shitty the town I grew up in. No offense. But I remember being like legitimately legitimately excited when they opened up a Subway sandwich shop.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
oh shit,
I get it.
we're getting a Subway? We're getting mainstream right now. What?
I was surprised how many Subway shops I actually saw in the few towns of Amsterdam I went to.
The first time I ever had a Subway was in Stockholm, Sweden.
Interesting. I had to go all the way to Tilburg to try Five Guys for the first time.
See, it's interesting. We are world travelers, Kush. We are men of the world.
Yes, we are. Local by choice, international by nature.
Anyway, so this Moonfall movie, where apparently the world, we depend on Halle Berry, which is a worrying thought to begin with.
She does her job. She's
She does
good.
her job, even though
Don't worry about her.
She's
not the problem.
She didn't have the guy's back though.
No, Halle Berry is good people. She's not.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
So who
Don't worry
saves the
about
day?
it. Don't worry about it.
How is the day saved?
Well, that's all spoilers. And
Okay.
the
Spoiler alert,
guys
the day
figure
is
out
saved.
they come up to the moon with an EMP bomb, and then they figure out, and someone has to stay behind. Like, you guys go ahead, I'll distract them and blow up the bomb. And they do that shit, and then
Like Armageddon.
that gentleman's. It's
Whatever
part
it is.
Armageddon. It's part Independence Day. It's multiple Roland Emmerich films, all in one.
Yeah, I like
And then
the Independence
add
reference
some
there.
Stanley Kubrick's 2001 into the mix.
But the Independence Day reference, that the drunk guy who then returns to get the aliens again. I'm back.
Randy Quaid, always drunk though. That guy's constantly drunk.
He's very good though. He's one of those like slides
good
under the. He
character.
always slides under the radar. Anything he's in, he's good at it. He's the mark. He gets
I
his
think we'll
job
both
done.
agree he was good in Independence Day.
No, what do you know? Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, anything he's in, don't get me wrong. I'm not like blown away by his performance. Oh my god, why has this guy not got an Oscar? But the role that he's given, he's always good enough for his role. He's not. I've never watched anything with him in and gone, Jesus Christ, he was shit. You know what I mean? He's adequate. He's good.
I think he's past the point of no return though these days. So the old stuff like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, we love Cousin Eddie. We love the dude from Independence Day, but yeah, I couldn't really name anything else. In fact, there's some movies I might have mistaken him for Jim Belushi in. So, anyways,
yeah. Okay.
Anyway. Moonfall. I don't necessarily know if you would go see this. At most, go see a matinee. Don't worry about 3D. Don't worry about the 4DX or whatever gimmick they try to push on you. Just see a regular 2D screening. Otherwise, wait for this to be on Netflix in 45 plus days. But I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
It.
Not bad.
Could have always been shorter.
That's what she didn't say.
She never said that.
So yeah, check it out. So it's in movie theaters now.
This Friday. Nope, this Friday.
Any ideas what we're watching next week?
We may have a review for Jackass 4, or a Liam Neeson movie called Blacklight.
Ugh, I'm slowly getting bored of Liam Neeson.
It's weird that he's doing an action movie after he said I'm done with the action movies.
Goddamn thing.
Well, lately everything's been trying to just duplicate Luc Besson's Taken, and a lot of them just don't work. But
Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool, did say it best in Deadpool 1, where he's like, at some point you just got to think, is Liam Neeson just a bad parent?
yeah, maybe. The gentleman definitely has a drinking problem, which is very sad to see when you see fans taking pictures with him at the local pub or even Taqueria of whatever town he's filming in.
Never met him.
Pants.
But I'd get drunk with Liam Neeson. I think that'd be fun. I don't want to see him in another action movie, which is the exact same as the one we did before. But I reckon he's fun to hang out with. Although I could, even though I have nothing to base this on, I could definitely see him being one of those guys that once he gets drunk, he believes he is the character he plays in the movie. And I could see him getting
That dude's
weird and
hiding
violent.
some pain. No, that dude's hiding some pain. Like those photos I just mentioned. Like, look, once we get off this line, Mike, look up Liam Neeson pee pants.
That's not something I want to look up on a Tuesday night, aka Wednesday.
Well, look it up on a Wednesday then. But what I'm saying is, like,
maybe
that man's dealing with some pain and he has a drinking problem. And Liam, I hope you get help, man. We love you. You're a fantastic talent. We only want to see the best for you. Yeah, dude, you're doing too much. And the fact that you didn't stop after like rule of 3, it's worrisome because there's like dozens of pictures of this Mike Fish.
Right. So Liam Neeson, wear some adult diapers and then live your dream.
Bro. Stop drinking, bro.
Where's some adult diapers?
Bro, stop drinking.
Wear some adult diapers. Keep drinking if you want to.
I don't want to wear diapers. When we get to the point where I've peed myself more than 3 times in a row, we're done.
Wait, when you say pee yourself 3 times in a row, at what time intervals are those? Because when you say I peed my pants 3 times in a row, that's kind of insinuating that if you pee your pants twice, but then you pee on someone else's pants, that breaks the streak.
Well, if you pee on someone else's pants, that's just you being super deliberate about it, dude. That's a whole other thing, and you kind of just an asshole at that point. But if you drink to the point where you piss yourself and don't realize it and just keep going on about your day as usual, there's a problem there. And
or
if
are you
do
free?
It 3 days in a row, you should absolutely stop everything. I mean, if you do it 3 times ever, you should stop everything. That's the point. Like, oh, every time I do this, action and then reaction. I drink too much, I pee myself. I mean, we should stop that.
I mean, depends. What if you enjoy peeing yourself? What if you're into that shit?
I mean, you can do that in the privacy of your own home, dude.
Well, where else are you gonna do it?
Don't bring it out into the streets. Don't bring it out to where I got a camera on my cell phone. I'm gonna post that shit on Instagram.
I'm sure Liam Neeson's not posting his own photos. Oh, pissed myself again. Click.
He's definitely not. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want fans taking photos with you, Mike Fish. Like, yo, Mike Fish, I love the Waffle Box. And then they're going like, check out Mike Fish's pee pants.
Got to get the views, baby.
You're a whore.
As long as you check out the podcast. Anyway, on
Mike
that
Fish,
delightful
hashtag
note,
Mike Fish, pee pants.
hashtag Waffle Box PP Pants. Let's wrap up the show on a light-hearted note. Now we've talked about Liam Neeson pissing himself for 5 minutes. Obviously, in the Northeast, we got a lot of snow and blizzards and blah, 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 blah over the last week. So much so, very weird. We have a lot of wind here in New Jersey as well. So it's like the snow's coming down, but it's very windy. So the snow is kind of going sideways. So at some point when I was shoveling the snow, literally in one area, there was like a slight dusting of snow. But then the other side of the driveway, there was like 2 feet of snow. So it's kind of like this weird. Took forever to fucking shovel. But whatever. I had some snow beers. Boop, popped them in the snow, let them chill for a couple of minutes. Beautiful stuff.
Hey, smart. That's working smarter, not harder. Do you add salt to the driveway? And if so, is it a specific salt, or can you just get that Morton's bullshit from the grocery store?
I have no idea. I went out one day and I bought a 20 pound. It was a lot of pound bag, but it was only like $20, and it said it had heating technology or some shit. I don't know.
It's just salt, bro.
It's just salt. I just bought the biggest bag for the littlest amount of money that I could get.
20 pounds for 20 bucks for 20 pounds?
I don't know how many pounds it was. I'm just making that up off the top of my head. But it was a large bag, enough for me to go, to get this bag of salt from here to the checkout, I need to get a cart.
Well, big enough like a dog chow?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Those go up to like 50 pounds. That's pretty crazy.
It might be like 40, 50 pounds. Anyway, and I'm not doing that every day.
Things I am not
These
missing.
war pistols.
East Coast winners.
Not fun.
They don't sound fun,
Anywho,
dude.
so a Rhode Island couple going full circle. Here we go. We're talking about Lois Griffin. She's from Rhode Island. Rhode Island couple decided to keep their chosen wedding date despite their outdoor ceremony coincided with a historic blizzard that dumped snow over the northeastern United States. It wasn't that historic. Well, maybe it wasn't. Was in other places, wasn't that? It wasn't historic. I won't say that. Adam and Sally said they chose their January 29th wedding date 14 months ago. And when forecasters began to predict historic snowfall for the day, they had to decide whether to go through with their plans for an outdoor ceremony. Right. Again, I have to call BS on this. If you live in Rhode Island, the northeast of the United States of these Americas,
it's right up there. It's the toppiest of
the
Americas.
Even though, hey, this was 14 months ago. How are we to know? Why? Who's booking an outdoor wedding in January in the northeast of America? That's dumb.
People with $20 for their wedding budget.
Anyway,
yeah, they had to find a minister of justice or whatever, an official desperate enough for that $20, and then they must have fantastic friends because again, this is some bullshit. Like that's. Have you ever had friends that like had a wedding out of country and they do that specifically so that they won't have a big wedding, which is is smart, but they could also just invite 20 people.
I have
to
to
the
spend
real wedding.
Thousands of dollars to get there, and then you're expecting me to give you a gift as well. Fuck you.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the whole barricade. So like, yeah, me and Jenny here, we're gonna get married, but we're gonna do it outside in Rhode Island in January.
What could go wrong?
Deal with that, mom and dad.
But so apparently, when forecasters predicted the bad snowfall, they decided to carry on with the wedding. Do you want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? What made them think, no, we've already planned. Like, we have a few cutting boards with this date on it, a couple of mugs. They got merchandise.
Oh, they got merch.
They're like, well, I'm not going to waste this. We have to truck on. And so their wedding...
It's going to be really shitty. To be fair to them, it's going to be really shitty doing the ceremony in April with the January 22nd date on the napkins. At some point, let's just get married, bitch. Just marry me.
Yeah, but like, if you're standing outside watching some people get married while you're wearing like several layers and a winter jacket and a hat, and I even saw there's a picture where people wearing fucking snow goggles. It's that bad. Like, they're going to be sitting there, like, standing there going, "Ew, those cutting boards look pretty good. I'm going to just get new cutting boards." Jeez.
Unfortunately, they spent $40 on the cutting boards, Mike. They can't get new cutting boards. They're done with that. Hopefully, though, no one cries during the ceremony and freezes their eyeballs.
What I love is the end of it, where it says, "We thought it was going to be really hard, and it all came together." The bride, Sally, said, "The Providence Public Library worked with us so well, and all our vendors somehow were available today, and I think it was just meant to be." Yeah, the vendors were available because it's an outdoor wedding in January in the Northeast. No one else is booking these people. That's
again,
why
people
they're
desperate
available
for that $20. Like, yo, I need this money that bad.
But yeah, good for the Adam and Sally. I'm not going to pronounce their last name because
I had a friend from San Francisco who went out to college out in Rochester, New York, and infamous New York winters. That East Coast blizzard or whatever came through, and for whatever reason,
nor'easter.
One of my friends, his friend, wanted a Slurpee from the 7-Eleven. And Slurpees, 65 cents, 79 cents, not even $1 at this time in the story. And the guy was just like, it's It's -12 out there. No, you have that Slurpee, and good luck to you, sir. God have mercy on your soul. We're not taking your dollar on this. So that happens. That's where I'm going with that.
Save the alarm. And that's the moral of this week's episode of Waffle Box. How to save a dollar.
There you go. Winter weddings.
Winter weddings.
Folks.
And oh, hello. My dog just walked in.
Hola, doggy.
Oh, there he is. There she is. Whoop, whoop. You might be able to just about to see her. Anyway, so that wraps up episode 35 of this Waffle Box. So what have we got to talk about? Promoting. Obviously, check me out if you are inclined into sports, football, soccer, football. Check me out live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, Claret and Big Blue podcast. And then obviously we've got this every Wednesday. And then, wait, what's the date? No, we have another episode for the bulk of our content. So I'll remind you all about next week. But don't forget to remember to follow us at WaffleboxPod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Enjoy wafflebox.com for all the links for you to watch and listen to these shows. Send us some ideas. If you have some news articles where you think would be fun for us to discuss, send it along at enjoywafflebox@gmail.com. Obviously, this is found on the Bosnet Family's website also. So if you're perusing the bosnet.family website, what other golden nuggets have the Syrup Squad got to look forward to this week, Kush?
Well, this Friday, we got a Kush and Kai reunion where me and Kai get together for a microdose number 103 this Friday. And we just talk about recent television. Nothing crazy. It's a good 45 minutes. We haven't edited it yet, but you're going to have a good time. The boys are back in town, and the microdose is where you're going to find them. And then, folks, the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast is coming back for season 2, February 15th. That's a Tuesday. You're going to see episode 1 of the season, episode 7 of the series. We're going to be talking about Michael Dudikoff, Steve James in Avenging Force. That's going to be with myself and Master, Director of Pact of Vengeance, Len Kabazinski, and you're going to find that on the bosnet.family, as well as all your various streaming platforms.
Beautiful stuff. So yes,
Thanks, man.
Thank you all for listening to us or watching us, or maybe a little bit of both. Who knows? I don't judge. But yes, make sure you do hit the subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell notification. I don't know. Whatever platform
Smash
you're
that
in,
baby like button.
Whatever you're
Smash that
doing,
like button.
Make sure you follow us so you get more of the shit next week. And then we will be back next Wednesday. But until then, make sure you take care of yourselves and each other.